It has been over 2 years since the attack on our U.S. consulate in Benghazi, where 4 Americans were murdered. Libya now on the brink of collapse, the country falling to Islamic extremists as ISIS uses chaos to extend its foothold in that country. And Europe issuing a warning to the West saying ISIS is at its front door. So could this have been prevented, and is there any way to stop it? At this point, let's talk to Chris, also known as Tonto Paranto. He is a Benghazi attack survivor who was there that night. He's also one of the co-authors of 13 Hours in Benghazi. He joins us from Phoenix.
Thank you.
So you're familiar with these guys. Ansar Sharia,
Oh, yeah.
al-Sharia, now ISIS. Surprised?
Oh, yeah. No, not at all. When we were there, before the even attack in 2012, we knew where Ansar al-Sharia was in Derna. We knew a lot of their camps were, the Department of State and the Intel Services did. So we've actually let this get to this point when we could have went in 2012 and probably at least limited their capabilities. So this is our fault more than anything.
And you saw this with your own 2 eyes, because before the consulate fell, you were undercover. You'd go through the streets and you would see these protests down at the seaport.
You know, you would see them drumming up support. We actually saw AQI flags in Benghazi even before we were attacked, and we did report that to our leadership. So again, this is not something new to me. I'm surprised that we've let it get to this point, but I think that's just a failure of leadership is what we're seeing.
Well, don't you think it has gotten to this point, Chris, because we don't have anybody on the ground, guys like you? The problem is we're flying over and we're dropping bombs, and that's being effective, the White House says, but not to the point where we've gotten rid of everybody.
No, you can't just come in and do airstrikes. It doesn't work. You've seen the vacuum that us leaving causes, and we're going to see it now in Sana'a, Yemen, which I worked in after Benghazi as well. So, yeah, you know, as much as we continue to pull out of these countries, all we're letting terrorists, and they are terrorists, we're letting them do is we're letting them flourish, and we're giving them areas for there to train and recruit.
Sure.
So we need people on the ground, whether it's paramilitary or military. We need people on the ground.
Well, I'm sure the administration, Tonto, would say, we got the Jordanians, we've got the Egyptians. They're doing the fight, and they can take over. They can be the boots on the ground.
You know, and God bless them, but they don't have the manpower to do it, and they are very good. King Hussein is very good, and the Egyptians, I applaud them for coming in and bombing ISIS and bombing Ansar al-Sharia. But you got to have U.S. forces, and you got to have NATO forces on the ground there. That's the only way to eliminate it.
Absolutely, because we're the best at it. But you know what ISIS's intent is, and that is to go all the way from Iraq and Syria all the way across northern Africa, and then just right across the Mediterranean. Next stop, Europe.
Yeah. Their whole intention is to wipe out Western society and anybody that doesn't adhere to Sharia law. So it's going to come and end up on our shores. It's coming. People need to realize that and don't think that we're not immune from attacks here on our shores. Like I said, I don't know how else to reiterate it. We're seeing the steps go, and it's going to increase, and as soon it's going to end up here, and then we're going to be dealing with it in the U.S.
Well, the White House is dealing with it right now because they've got this summit, this 3-day summit on extremism, where they won't call it Islamic extremism. Is it? You've been there. Is this Islamic extremism?
That's exactly what it is. There's no, I don't know why you can't name it what it is. And I saw you had an Attorney Holder soundbite on there, and I remember him saying we don't need to name it. We don't need to worry about naming it. We need to do something about it. Well, we haven't done anything about it, so at least name it. You haven't done either. So yes, it is Islamic extremism. We are dealing with terrorists, and if we can't say it, then obviously we're not going to be able to handle it and deal with it effectively. And we're also jobs. I saw that from the State Department as well, spokesperson. Getting them jobs, they have jobs. It's called killing Westerners and killing Christians. That's what they do.
That's what they do.
We need to step up and end this. And it's not going to be easy, but we got to take the hard right. And if we don't do that, then again, like I said, it's going to get where it's reaching us in the U.S.
Well, you know, you were there. Chris Tonto Paranto, former CIA security consultant over in Benghazi. Sir, thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Steve.